I'm going to start right away with decorations and ornaments. I won't be buying any of those. I would rather decorate with something else, and I'll get to that in a minute.
Now listen, I know what it was like to always have magazines around, and I used to love them, getting them delivered, buying them at the store. My mom, my grandma, there was Chatelaine, there was Southern Living, all of these things. The only thing I get now like that is a seed catalog, and I get like maybe 2 a year. The thing is, magazines are kind of obsolete in a lot of ways for me and maybe for you. I can go on Pinterest, I can look things up, I can go to blogs or whatever. For now, I'm skipping out on the magazines. I won't be buying any disposable water bottles. Disposable water bottles are bad for the environment. It is taking water away from precious streams. I'm happy just using reusable water bottles. We have a bunch of these in my house, and they're wonderful to just fill up and take them on the go. I don't know about you, but I remember starting to download music and thinking, gosh, this is so much more convenient than having CDs or tapes or 8-tracks everywhere. So I remember when I decided I'm actually not going to be buying any more CDs anymore, which was wonderful. So that is another thing I don't buy is CDs, cassettes, obviously cassettes, and I don't buy records either. I remember saying, gosh, it will be so nice when I can download movies. Well, lo and behold, that happened quite a while ago. So we don't buy DVDs anymore, and certainly not buying Blu-ray. That was a short-lived thing. Am I right? Yes. You know, when I was a kid at Christmas, my mom and my grandma, they would put gag gifts in our stockings, like a magic trick with the finger, or like those funny little metal puzzle things. Those are things that I will not be buying. No like gag gifts or silly things. Not that I'm judging them, but ultimately they just end up going in the garbage because people just don't use them. And I don't want to have to deal with those decisions. Let me know if you can relate.
I will not be buying any more accessories for my car. In fact, I haven't bought any accessories for my car in a very long time. It comes with what it needs. I don't need to mount my phone or anything else like that.
The other thing we don't do anymore is we got rid of cable. Now, I know this is crazy. I remember back in the day when our family had like 2 channels, and one of them was the CBC because I am in Canada. Well, now you can have like hundreds of channels. We actually have got to the point where we said, no, we just want to have streaming services because we were always just sort of putting whatever on the TV that was recorded from cable or just like random things. I remember when I was a kid, Saturdays after cartoons, we would watch golf. Golf came on, and that definitely meant it was time to go and play outside. But now we just have streaming services and we canceled cable. One thing I will not be buying any more of is a landline phone. We have our cell phone. The only reason we have this one still is because one of our kids doesn't have a cell phone. Even though we have terrible reception here, I just don't want another landline phone. They tend to break and they're just another expense. I will not be buying any more paper napkins. This was from a huge pack from Costco that we have probably had for like 6 or 7 years. And I realized, yes, they last a long time, but we could also use paper towel just as easily. I will not be buying any more electronic devices that are like a DVD player, VHS. I truly hope to not buy anything new unless I'm replacing something else that is broken. And even then, I'm gonna try really hard to make it last for a long time. So I will not be buying any more electronics. We're at a stage where we are definitely trying to downsize things. I won't be buying any kitchen gadgets that don't either save me time or money or effort. Now, some people I have said about the avocado slicer and how that is a unitasker, as Elton Brown says, which it would be for me. If you have struggles using your hands or things like that, of course, this is a cherry pitter and an olive pitter. I love it. It saves me time and energy, but I'm not buying any other unitaskers for the kitchen. I won't be buying any more home decor decoration items. Decor. This used to be my dad's, this nice old typewriter. I would rather decorate with sentimental items versus just random things I buy because I think it looks good in my home. And that's just me. You do you. Another thing I don't buy anymore is single-use coffee pods. Now, yes, they are convenient, but I remember when they first came out, and you let me know if you think the same thing, but I thought these can't be good for the environment. And you know what? They're not. What you can get is these like little reusable little cups, and you fill them up with the coffee yourself. But you guys know me, I'm actually a tea drinker. I will not be buying trendy clothes. I like my t-shirts, I like my sweatshirts, and that's just who I am. I also will not be buying anything else that is trendy. No, I am not a trendy person. And I've just realized that over time, like there's these cups out right now. They're called the Stanley Cups. Which is funny because I'm Canadian, and so hockey's a big thing here. And I was like, why are people talking about the Stanley Cup all of a sudden? Like, isn't it like summer? But they're actually like these new cups that people are drinking water out of. Now for me, I am a huge fizzy water drinker. So first of all, I don't need a new cup for that. And quite often the fizzy water goes flat and things like that. But also I'm recognizing this is kind of a trend, and I am not judging people who go on trends. And if anything can get you to drink more water, that is good. But I don't want to jump on trends and end up buying things, spending money, and ending up with more clutter as a result. Now, I don't know about you, but during the beginning of the pandemic, there was a bit of a run on like Lysol wipes or Clorox wipes. And we actually only kept them occasionally in our house, like when somebody had the stomach flu, because I do not like stomach viruses in my house. And I know that they are transmitted very easily. So I like wipe things down. Well, once the pandemic happened, there was a run on them. And I remember being like, I wanted to get some of these at Costco. So I bought like a 6-pack, and I am not happy with what I had left because they really weren't something that I used. I remember like we went to a vacation home and it was like, wipe things off. Okay, that was like the only time. So I will not ever be buying those disposable wipes again. They're wasteful, not to mention the fact that really we just don't use them. Eyeshadow. Now hear me out. I am not a huge makeup wearer. I do wear makeup for videos. In fact, I just pretty much just wear like tinted face cream, and I have this like vein here. Where's the vein? Vein here that often I feel like it makes me look like I have a black eye. So I put like concealer on that. I don't even think I do a good job at it. I don't wear it enough. And to be honest, like our eyes start like drooping a bit as we get older. And I don't even know if you'd see my eyeshadow. So I'm not going to buy any more eyeshadow. One of the great things about being a nurse is that you do not need fancy work clothes. I just wear scrubs. Or when I'm working from home, I wear my favorite t-shirts and sweatshirts. I will not be buying extra kitchen appliances unless I know I'm going to use it. This is my ice cream maker. I used it yesterday, so I'll keep it. But I'm not going to buy a popcorn maker, even though I was so close. And then I realized, no, I just like to pop it in the microwave in a bowl like a normal person. Now, I'm not going to be buying excessive amounts of bedding or towels. However, this towel, after owning it for 14 years, has finally ripped. So I guess I will maybe invest in a new towel, but believe me, it hurts. It hurts so much. Believe it or not, I've actually bought cables before, but we don't need cables anymore. In fact, I got rid of an entire box of cables, and yes, sometimes the kids are annoyed by that and they say, I need this cable, I need that cable, but I'm like, no. There is one, you'll find it. I'm not buying any more cables. I will not be buying any more furniture. Now, my youngest is turning 14 and my oldest just moved out, and I'm recognizing just how quickly kids move out. Eventually, we will be downsizing, like probably in about 4-ish years when he moves out, maybe just before. So we're not going to need more furniture. In fact, we might need less furniture. So the less things I have to manage, the better. And you know what? I think it's okay if there's like a little bit of blankness on a wall or something like that. The less furniture you have, the less there is to clean. Am I right? I also will not be buying any more storage containers, especially like totes. Now, I went through my Christmas stuff last year or the year before, and I remember actually being like, holy smokes, like I'm getting so much of this that I don't even need these totes. The only time where I thought I might need totes is that my son is moving to university, but my mom said she has been doing so much decluttering that she has extra totes. So I was like, okay, good. He can have those because we are not looking to store more things. I will definitely not be buying extra mugs or extra glassware. Now, my brother, God love love him. If he comes over and he wants to have a beer, he likes it in a glass, which is fine. But he's gonna get it in a water glass because I don't need a beer mug. I won't be buying any cleansers just with one particular use. This is an all-purpose cleanser and it works fine for me. I'm also not gonna be getting any new hobby supplies. Now, I'm gonna tell you a little story. My husband and I, oh my gosh, like 10 years ago, he said, I wanna start kayaking. And I was like, okay. Well, he wanted to buy kayaks. And I thought, no, we should just rent them. Well, he wore me down. Maybe I was like tired that day or something. It's not even like we could afford them, but he is the type of person that instead of renting things, he wants to buy them. So from now on, I am telling you something, we're going to rent. My hobbies include like gardening. I like cooking. A lot of my hobbies are just like home-based hobbies. So hopefully I will not need any supplies to use these hobbies. I mean, I really can't think that I would be starting anything new, but I have learned my lesson that when we are starting something new, we are definitely going to rent for a very long time and hopefully never buy something. And if we do, we're going to be sure we're going to do it. I need to talk to him about that. Now, I'm not gonna buy excessive toiletries. I know some people who have completely underneath their sinks, completely full. I have something to keep my face moisturized. And as a girl with curly hair, I am not gonna lie, I do need a few products just to get it to look like this, which is nothing special. You do what works for you, but for me, I don't want a ton of toiletries. I'm also not going to be buying any new pet accessories. Now, we have cats. Cats don't tend to need a ton of things. Like there are people who have dogs and they buy all sorts of things for their dogs. I mean, our cats, they don't need a lot. My cat, Crumpet, the sweetest little guy, he adopted this banana box that came from Costco. Now, do I like having a cardboard box in my living room? I don't. But he likes this fuzzy little blanket thing in it. So we have that in there. And our cats, they have a couple of toys. Crumpet really likes this one toy that's just like this like broken little whip thing from a cat toy. I don't think we're going to need more. All I do is I stick them in the drawer and then I pull them out whenever he is tired of what's there. Mwah! Don't need any more cat accessories. You know what? I used to go through so many Band-Aids as a mom of boys, but now this Costco pack has lasted us years. So I'm not sure if I'm ever going to need more Band-Aids. Another thing I will not be buying any more of is more office supplies. Now, once upon a time, we would buy a ton of office supplies. We would make sure we had desks. We made sure we had filing cabinets. It was all about storage. Well, since decluttering, I now am always trying to make sure that I am going through things, not having a ton of paper around. So as far as office supplies go, I have my desk, I have my chair, I have my little armoire where I keep my office supplies, and I don't need any more. The only thing I might occasionally need is a printer because printers just seem to die so easily. Do you have that same problem? I also am not going to be buying travel toiletries. For me, I just don't want to spend the extra money. Travel toiletries are so expensive. Plus, they might not have the ones I wanted. And I do have particulars with my hair and things like that. So I fill up these little ones that I got at a dollar store. It doesn't cost me anything after the initial purchase of these. And then I can just take them with me whenever we travel. I also will not be buying any new craft supplies. Now, I painted this picture in my office and I bought the paints to buy it with paintbrushes and all of those things. My intention is to at least paint one more time this winter, and if I don't, then those need to go because clearly I am not using them. Now, tell me if you're the same, that you have things for craft supplies and then you don't end up using them, but I definitely will not be buying any more unless I actually do start painting and then I run out of those paints. And if they get to the point where they dry up, well, then I have learned something very valuable, haven't I?
I won't be buying any more gardening tools. The tools that I have should last me long enough. If something should break, maybe I'll replace it, but really, I just need the basics.
As I mentioned before when I was talking about office furniture and things, I don't want to buy any more storage supplies or storage furniture. So I will not be buying any new armoires. I have the one in my office where I keep things, and I'm not going to buy any more shelving units to store things on. I already have that one in my living room, which, believe me, is driving me crazy. The other thing I will not be buying more of is like decorative pillows or decorative blankets. These came with our couch and they are plenty. And believe me, you guys, I love Christmas, but I thought I considered it. I get in the spirit. November is a season where I have to practice a lot of restraint, but I considered getting like a red and black checked like pillowcase for these. And then I thought, no, let's not do that. And I also will not be buying any new storage furniture. I already mentioned we don't need any more totes and we don't need any more storage furniture for things like the office. This monstrosity here is bad enough that it has like bookshelves to put things on, and then you feel like you have to fill it up, which has completely stressed me out. In the rest of the house, there are very few things that actually store things. Like there's just like the armoire in the office where we keep like paperwork and things like that. But other than that, and like a sideboard I have in my dining room where we keep serving dishes and things, I don't need any new storage furniture. The whole point is to get rid of more things and have less stuff. Now, this monstrosity, like I mentioned, it has gone through a bit of a transformation. There were things all over it, and believe it or not, it actually looks better. I still am not sure what I'm going to do with it. You can actually check out this video here where I just did my best, and I could actually really use your help if you could let me know what you think I should do here. And I hope something good happens for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!